Google Sites tutorial for beginners. Make a Google site. Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I will be showing you how you can get started with building your own Google Sites website. So let's get into it. So with that, it gives you the benefit of, even if you're someone that does not use website builders often, you can still build a pretty decent website with Google Sites. Now, this can also be considered a con. This does not have a lot of customization, but it really depends on the type of website that you're creating and what are going to be your basic needs. Now, another basic thing to note is that Google Sites also does not have any integrated shopping features. So building your e-commerce store on Google Sites might not be the best option for you. However, it can be done. Now, let's get into building our Google Sites website. The first thing you have to do is head on over to Google Sites, and you can do that simply by searching for Google Sites. Keep in mind that the Gmail account or the Google account that you're using to log in should be the one that you should have logged onto on your browser, or you can switch it up in Google Sites. Just use the one that you want to use to create your website. Now, after you have logged onto Google Sites, you will see a template gallery. This template gallery has quite a few different templates that you can pick out from, and you can choose to get started from scratch as well. Now, on the left side, you have classic sites. You have docs, sheets, slides, and forms. Now, if you click on classic sites over here, this will open up, the classic version of Google Sites, which has currently been removed. Now, I'm going to get started with a blank template. To do that, simply click on the left icon of the plus icon, and then I'm just going to click on this, and then this is going to be your blank template. Now, with your blank template, let's get started with building our website. Now, you can take a sample website to replicate if you want. So you can just search for Google Sites over here, and you can just take a look at a very basic little template if you want, but you can just choose whichever one you want. But I'm just gonna build my own because I already have an idea in mind. Now, this is the first thing to note. On the top left, you actually have your site name or logo that you can insert. Keep in mind that your logo should be without a background because that's how logos look the best. If your logo has a background, then you can use a background remover like background remover BG to remove your background. But if your logo is something like this, then you can just use it directly if you want, but keep in mind that it's going to look a little off. Now, if you have a logo and you want to remove the background, so let's just take any logo from here. So just taking this logo from over here, you guys can see that on all of the edges, this has backgrounds. So to remove these for free, you can use the Pro feature on Canva to remove these, but I am just going to download this and I'm going to go into remove.bg. And once you go into remove.bg, you're just going to open up this particular website and you can upload your file. And then in a couple of seconds, you guys can see now our logo has been removed. So now I'm going to click on download, and now I can go ahead and click on upload over here, and our logo would be ready. Just taking our look like this, and now I can go on ahead and upload my logo. So once I've added my logo, I can choose a favicon as well. A favicon is the icon that appears on the top left whenever you open a tab. As you guys can see, for Canva, we have this C icon. You have to add a favicon simply because of the reason that if you don't, then it's going to show the default Google Sites one. So I like to go into uploads and use my logo. Usually it's just a simpler version of your logo that you can use as a favicon. Now on the top, you have your navigation in your settings. And for that, I want it to be on the side. Let's say I want it on the side and I want it to be black or white. You can change the color as well, but I'm going to go for a black one. And then after that, I have my brand images, which is the logo and favicon, then our viewer info. Then we have some custom domains, and you can set up your custom domains, which I will be covering later on, as well as Google Analytics and announcement banners. So if you have an announcement to make, you can click on show banner, add a particular type of banner that you want, and then you can add your message. So let's say it's going to be Oktoberfest is here, and then I can add my button label, which might be join now. And then after that, you can add the link that is supposed to open whenever someone clicks on that button. And then there's the visibility. So whether or not this announcement bar should be present on all pages or only on the home page. Now, after you have done this, you can also insert a site name after your logo. So I can go on ahead and I'm going to change the basic viewer settings for our navigation panel to white instead. And then I am going to make the mode like so. Now, after you have completed some of your basics, you can get started with building your header. If you click on your header, you can see a icon appear on the bottom left called header type, and you can choose the type of header that you're looking for. I'm going to choose a cover header, and then I'm going to enter my page information. Now, once you've entered your header text, you can click on the text and start customizing it. On the top left, you have your basic title or normal text or heading, subheading options. And then on the right, you have your fonts that you want to use. You have multiple different types of fonts available. So let's say I want this font, and then you have your font size as well. So let's say I want to increase my font size, and maybe I want to change the font type instead, like so. And then after that, you have italic, underline, and linking options. And then you also have your alignment options. So you can choose the alignment that you prefer. And then you have duplication options, and you can click on more to add indents, lines and spacing, strike throughs, highlighting, and clear formatting. Now, once you've added your header, you can click on image over here and click on upload over here to upload your own image in the header. So whatever image you might want to use can be added over here. Let's say I want to use this image over here. So I'm going to click on open, and now our image has been added. Now, this is just the home page. We're going to get started with building our next section. So on the right side, you have the insert option. You have text boxes, images, embedding, and Google Drive. Then you have content blocks that you can add, or you can add your individual types of content, such as collapsible groups, table of contents, image carousels, buttons, dividers, spacers, social links, and more. Now, I want to add some of the services that I might specialize in as a beauty specialist. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these three content blocks, so a 3-column content block, and I can start adding images over here. And for our images, I can go select image, or I can just go ahead and go into pixels just to get some royalty-free images if you don't have any of your own. Like this, I'm just going to add some of our images like this, and then I can go back into Google Sites, and now I can start uploading our images. So I'm just going to take one image for each section like so. Now, after you have added your images, you can enter text beneath it, and you can actually link these to a particular page. So this might be custom foundation, undertones, and then the next might be eyeliner for every eye shape. So after you have added all of your text beneath your images, depends on how you're formatting your website, but I'm just going along with this particular style. So after you have done that, you can also customize the appearance of this text. So you can choose the text over here and start customizing the overall appearance from the fonts to all of the other aspects. So let's say I want to use New Times Roman, or maybe I want to go on ahead and use this font over here like this. So I can just click on the font, and then I'm going to add this over here instead. I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I'm just using this, and then I'm going to go over here as well, making sure that all of these are the same level of bold. So I'm going to make them all semi-bold. And then once I've done that, I can start adding further description text. Now you can just add some dummy text just to take a look at what it's going to look like, but I'll do that later. Now, after you have added your basic section, you can create a relevant page that people can click to whenever they click on these. So this can be actually one of a section of your work. I can click on pages and I can click on add a page. And I'm going to name a page called portfolio and I'm going to click on done. Now in our portfolio, I'm going to add a header type, which is going to be title only. And then in this, we're going to add our sub pages. So we have foundation matching. And then we also have going back to our homepage to see our categories, undertone essentials, and eyeliner for every shape. Now, once you've added all of your pages, what you're going to do is that you're going to set them as sub pages. To do that, simply move your portfolio page to the top by clicking it and dragging it above. Then just take all of the other pages that you created, move them right below portfolio and move them slightly inside, and this will make them a sub page. Always move them under the portfolio section instead of moving them under the bottom page, because if you move it under the bottom page, it's going to make it another sub page, which we don't want. So you're just going to place it right below portfolio like this. Now, once you've done that, go back into your home page and click on the image. Now, once you click on the image, you can actually go on ahead and hyperlink the text over here just by clicking on insert link. And I'm going to add foundation matching, and then I'm going to add undertone essentials, and then I'm going to add, it's going to click on over here, click on apply. And if you ever have this issue where it gets an underline, you can just select your text, give it all the underline, and then remove it. So you don't have to worry about that ugly underline. And just select your entire text and then remove it over here. Now, once you have completed this, you can get started with inserting the next section. Let's say I want a button, and this might be previous work history or something like sample videos, whatever it might be. You can insert that. If you have any sample videos from YouTube, you can also insert them directly. To do that, I'm going to add a divider first, and then, or instead of a divider, I'm going to add a spacer. After our spacer, I'm going to click on YouTube and insert a YouTube video. So I'm just going to add this section over here, and I'm just going to insert this video just to show you guys what it's going to look like. Now I'm going to place this right in the middle, and you guys can see the size is a pretty decent size. You can increase it or decrease it. That's totally up to you. I'm just going to increase the size a little like this. Now, after you have done that, just make sure that all of the borders look good and your entire page is showing up nicely on your, Google websites page, because you don't want your thumbnail to be cut out or something. Now, after you have built this, you can go on ahead and insert any other item. You can insert a placeholder over here. You can insert sheets, forms, charts, slides, docs, and so much more. Now I can scroll up and I can add an image carousel, table of contents, collapsible groups. So I'm going to click on collapsible group and I'm going to add maybe services or provided services at Marie's salon. At Marie's. So I'm just going to enter my text over here, whatever type of services that we have. Lash extensions, maybe acrylics, like this. So once I've entered all of the provided services, I can just click on the header design and I'm just going to make it fit with the rest of our theme. So I'm going to use this font, and then after that, I'm going to keep the rest as it is. Now, once we've done that, I can scroll down and I can actually enter a calendar or a map where I can display my bookings and my physical location. If this is for a physically run business, you can enter the map location. So you can open up your map over here. And then over here, you can just, add whatever location that you might have. So let's go ahead and just add any random location just to show you guys as an example. So I'm just going to add this location over here, and I'm going to click on drop a place mark, and I have my place mark over here. And now I can click on select, And then we have our location added. I want to provide some more distance over here, so I'm going to add a divider, and then I'm also going to add a spacer below. So after our divider and our spacer, we have our physical location where I'm just going to add some text beside it as well. So I'm going to resize this over here and then place it on the side, and then I can enter my text like this. So I'm just going to add some basic text inviting people to visit our branch. And then on the bottom, you're going to add your footer. You're going to click on add footer over here, and then you can insert your social media logos over here as well. If you don't have social media logos, you can do the same thing as we did at the start, where you can download the logos off of Google, and then you can go into remove BG to remove the background of those logos. Now, in my footer, I'm just going to write TNC reserved like this. And now after that, I'm going to get started with building the rest of our pages. So this is just our home page. The next thing you're going to do is go back into pages, and now you can get started with building all of those pages. Now I want to just duplicate the section we built on the home page, like this one over here, into our portfolio page. So to do that, I can just take a look at the section, and then on the right side of the section, you have the duplicate section option, and then you can just go back and you're going to paste this over here. So we're just going to insert, and we can just insert the type of section that we want, and we're going to click on adding our section. So below this, we are going to go ahead, add a placeholder as well. And I'm also going to change the style of some of the items over here, such as this. I'm also going to click on the left side, on the furthest left. You can change the style of any of your items. So if you have this, you can create, different types of styles. So I'm going to use some styles in our bottom section as well as our footer to make it appear slightly different. And then I'm going to click on the footer color, and then we can click on image, and you can upload your own image as well. But I think this looks pretty good. Now, after that, I am just gonna make sure that our sections have been organized properly. And now I can go back into portfolio. So in our portfolio, I can build the same thing over and over again, or I can build it slightly differently. So I can go into the insert section, and I can insert it like this instead. So I can enter 3 content blocks like this, and then I can add the items in a different way to display them slightly more interestingly or differently. So I'm gonna go back into our photos and just insert all of these like this. And then I can enter my text, and then I can link them all on their particular section. So I'm just gonna make sure that none of the images go too much out of the way. I'm gonna make them slightly larger, but not too large, where they don't fit on the screen at once. So we're going to just make all of these custom. And then after that, I'm going to insert this image over here like so. So now I have these sections, and I can do the same thing as we previously did, where we are just going to enter the text and then link to those pages. Now, then you can open up your individual pages for foundation matching, undertone essentials, whatever your page titles are. And then you can start adding your content over here. Now, on the right side, you're going to find your general theme that you're using, and you can change the general theme and create your own as well. So if you have a type of style that you want to follow, simply go into themes on the right side, click on custom theme, and then you can add your logo, banner image, click on next, and you can add your customized preset colors. So let's say I want to go in these neutral kind of tones, these pink tones instead. I can choose this and then click on next, and then choose my font as well, like so. And then the complementary font that I want to use is this one. And then I'm going to click on create theme. And now you guys can see this has been applied, and I open up even my homepage. Even my homepage has, all these elements of the new theme that we just applied. It's pretty simple and easy, and you can add colors, text, font sizes, navigation bars, color when scrolled. Let's say this is the one I want. And then the next thing I want it to be is not transparent at the top. I want it to have a color. And then maybe I also want to add some more components, which might be the filled button, the outline button. All of your color presets are going to be here, your spacing as well. Now, after that, let's say I want my top navigation to be background color like this, so you can, add whatever you want. But after that, you also have your components, which might be too much. So let's say I have to edit this header, I can add it to the side as well. And now my menu has been moved to the side instead of just being displayed over here. Now, another really important thing is to note how your menu bar or navigation bar is going to appear. Whenever you add subpages, those subpages are going to appear in a drop down. But if you add a normal page, so if I just add a regular old page, maybe called contact info, now this will actually show up in our direct menu bar. But if you want to hide any page from the menu bar, you can go ahead and click on these three dots on the right side of the item. And once you click on these three dots, you can click on hide from navigation. Now, if I take a look at my navigation panel, this is not going to be shown there. Now, this might be applicable to pages that you're not really sure if they're completed yet, but they're also completed to some extent. So you can add those kinds of pages and you can make them hidden from the menu so they're slightly more difficult to access. Now, I'm just going to make this public again. And now on your top, you have your settings. And once you have almost completed your website making, you can click on publish on the top right and choose your web address. So you can choose your web address over here. For us, it's going to be Marie's Beauty. And after that, you can also add your custom domain. So I can click on manage over here, and this will open up your site domain. You can go into custom domain setup. Now you guys can see if I add this domain, it's asking me to verify your ownership. So you can open this up and you can add your custom domain and verify your ownership, and then your custom domain will be added. Now, after that, let's go back into the publishing section. So you can also click on who can view your site and click on manage over here. Now you guys can see if it is restricted. If it's just a draft, you can make it restricted when your published site is public. So after that, I might want it to be still restricted even if it's published. So you can do that as well. Now I want this to be public, so I'm going to publish it and then I'm going to click on done. And then I'm going to click on publish over here. And just like that, our Google site has been published. So let's take a look. This is our site over here. This is the basic contact info page, but we're just going to go ahead and go into our pages, go into our home page over here and click on publish, just making sure that our site is working and functioning. So this is our site over here. These are all the little items we created. If we scroll down, we have the YouTube video, the location, and the footer. Then we also have our contact info. We also have our portfolio, and then in the portfolio section, we have these three sub pages created as well. So in this way, you can get started with Google Sites. If you found this video helpful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have any questions or queries, leave those in the comment box down below. I would love to help you guys out, and I will catch you guys in the next video.